Welcome to the Databricks Skill Builder series. We're glad you're here.
Other night, we have this user group in Kansas City, like I said. Let me make sure my compute is up. Yeah, okay. So I have everything actually pre-computed, which actually works even better. Okay, so context around this. The data is Amazon book reviews and baby reviews. And the baby reviews I threw in there for just like showing off some dynamic joins of how Genie works and how it's amazing at just recognizing patterns and can join tables together so well. But the bigger picture here is I actually the end goal here is picture you are in the context of like a marketing group and you're working for Amazon and you're marketing and trying to kind of do exploratory data analysis on Amazon book reviews. The goal here is to have that marketing person be able to identify high customer engagement potential. So, like in this example, it identifies like a reviewer that's like just reviewing all the time on Amazon Books, and then it takes that reviewer and does like a semantic search to look for um, a potential pairing of another reviewer to suggest like them to join like a virtual book club. Does that kind of make sense? It was kind of a made up thing that I did, but it showed, I think, a few different powers of what Genie can do.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. So a few of the data sets are in here. I'll kind of work backwards. I'll just show this first. So obviously, if you're not knowing where to start, you can always say, Genie, give me 5 example questions, and it will take the data, the metadata, everything about it, and formulate some nice questions. But for this instance, I already knew what I wanted to do. So I start off with, hey, Janie, show me some customers that have bought baby products and books. So I'm looking for reviewers that are, or a reviewer that has done both the reviews of products, or sorry, of baby products and of books. So it does that, but it just gives me the customer IDs. And I was like, okay, well, nice, but like I want some more content. So I said, show me some more details around the baby product and books. And it's like, well, I need some more context. Like, give me some examples. You want me to show product titles, star ratings? What do you want me to show? So I go, okay, well, show me the product titles, the reviews, the star ratings, all those things. So it did that. That was cool. So it rejoined, but it add more in the select statement. So now I have just a pure join with some select statement around baby reviews and Amazon book reviews. And then we get more advanced as we go. So then I said, now show me the top 10 most reviews for babies and books. So notice how I said, now show me, right? So it's referencing, it knows like that I'm in the context of that last return. So that's kind of cool. And then it starts getting really cool. So it says, it gives me these book titles, and it actually gives me the most highly reviewed book for in the Amazon reviews, and it gives me the most highly reviewed baby product, right? And so it gives me that, and this is kind of a more advanced SQL statement, right? So we're getting more advanced. It does a select statement, has a join with the group and an order by, executed perfectly. So then I say again, show me. So now it's taking that last return in the context of show me. And I said, show me this based on the reviewer. So I want some more granularity about this table that I returned before. So now it's actually doing that very similar transformation, but at the granularity of the customer ID. So we're working towards, again, trying to identify that highest reviewer for book reviews on Amazon, and then pairing them with a another reviewer that doesn't maybe do as many reviews, but has the same interests in terms of their books. So the same genre that they like to read. Um, so here's the query it returned, very similar to that last one, but just with some different group buys. And then I said, okay, show me the latest review date for that top reviewer. So for that top reviewer, okay, this is kind of cool. It took this top reviewer, which is this customer 468772221. I didn't have to state that reviewer or anything. I just said, show me the latest review date for that top reviewer. That's the keyword there. So it's taking from that last return, and then it shows me this. And I'm like, well, almost, right? So you can see um, the SQL here. Almost is what I want, but I actually want some more data added in the select statement. So I said add the customer ID in the review body. Okay. So now we're at this point. Um, Here's a SQL. So this is where it gets super cool. So here's that customer ID repeated, and it gives me all the reviews essentially ever, and it gives me the actual review body. So it says, it's the comment or the review that the viewer left of that book. So it can be rather large or just a few sentences. And so what I do now is I say, I'm going to narrow it down to just some random reviews for July of 2015. So it just filtered this down to July of 2015. And then here is where the vector search comes into play. So I said, I was specific here, but you don't have to be so specific. So provide a vector search on this review. And I was going to make this more dynamic, and I can, but I essentially just copied this review up here from July 5th, and I pasted it into this vector search. So this is where it gets super sweet. So it actually calls under the hood a vector search, which I pre-configured before I brought it into Genie. But I basically created this vector store that based off of these Amazon reviews. So it took the review body and it does the embeddings in Databricks you see for you. And you can see what I leveraged here. So this is what's so cool. So it knows the vector search and the actual table of the vector search to call, and it passes that review in there, all in SQL. Okay, so now vector search capability can be done in SQL, and then it search or then it responds um, with the top five semantic searches. So I won't get into super detail, but the first one it returned with the highest similarity of essentially 100% was that exact review that I copied in. So you can see here's that review, here's what I copied in up here. But then the second, third, and fourth ones, you can see the similarity drops drastically, but it's still significant. So 65, 66% match. And if I read these to you, you could see that the context is in this genre of like kind of a not horror, but like a mystery, like kind of scary one. And it's basically saying, oh, these are really similar reviews without searching exactly or fuzzy matching. It's doing that semantic search in Genie. Um, so really cool. So then I take those five reviews and I say, create a response suggesting the two customers correspond and start a book club based off the matching reviews. So it basically took the first and second reviews and it matched. So there's two customers, right? It matched these together and then it creates this review response, which is so cool. So um, here is basically what the marketing person, the analyst, whoever would review. Let me show you what happens. So it generates an email response with the context of those two reviews that it said, hey, these are really good potential customers to pair together to suggest a book club. So it took the review response, and here's the code, by the way, sorry. And it passed it to our DBX LLM under the hood, and it creates this email response. And it actually understands that without even mentioning it, it knows the book based off the comment, the first profit, and it knows that the author is Kay Cooper, and it goes through this and it says like, hey, like you should hit up this other customers, um, and um, sorry, you should hit up this other customer, basically get together, and it suggests that the next book they should maybe read is Fear the Dark by Kay Cooper as well. And so this basically this marketing person could take this and either have a human in the loop or you could blast these things like at a wide scale. But it's so cool because like within Genie, you're able to string together um calling our LLM, which is DOBRX. You're able to call a vector search and do all this EDA kind of exploration and get to this output where it suggested two customers come together to create a virtual book club. So that was like such a long, like wordy thing. And I'm sorry, I should have stopped maybe in between, but that's kind of the power of where Genie's going to. I'll stop there for 1 second. I'm like, need a drink of water.
Very impressive.
I don't even know if you
It's
followed all of it, but it's just so cool.
and no, I think you did a good job. I think I followed most of it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm really impressed that the Genie is able to augment with SQL queries. It's super impressive,
Yeah. And
and it seems to
obviously,
be very accurate. I don't think I've had but maybe one SQL failure that I remember. And maybe it wasn't even in Genie. It might have been something else, but I just don't remember seeing too many errors.
yeah. It's pretty phenomenal. So like obviously I had some of these example queries in here, but like one of the cool things that I like to show off, um, well, one, so it took this, but it actually injected a different like prompt into it. So it has flexibility. It's not just like gonna return this. It just takes this as like an example and it modifies it. The other thing is the vector search is you can actually pass dynamic parameters into these example queries. So like I define that parameter in the query, so then it actually takes in whatever you're asking it. So I asked, if I go back up to here, um, I said, I copied it, but basically it injected this whole thing into this parameter. So it's not fixed, right? It's dynamic. And then obviously I had some instructions to help it out, had that, nice metadata that you guys had with a Unity catalog. And yeah, I mean, pretty much the rest was history and it did an awesome job. Um, the other thing I was going to show off, this is like not even, I don't think working right now. It was working for a second. Oh, maybe it did work now. Anyway, this is a new, super hot off the press. It's not even released yet, but this is another thing that's going to help you develop Genie is these benchmarks. And essentially what it does is um, you can ask, sorry, you can ask or put in a question into these benchmark questions, and you can give it what the response should be. So this would be like you interacting with oh my gosh, who's the EDI expert on your side? Sorry.
Phil.
Phil. Gosh, sorry, Phil.
That's
Um,
me. I was muted. Sorry.
sorry. Yeah. So Phil would be like, "Hey, Matt, like this is in words what I was thinking. Matt, you transfer it into SQL, and then you go and essentially run these evaluations, and it will grade the response um under the hood. So like this one, and it's not like it's not polished at all. But basically, this one had 100%. This is awesome. It was exactly what I was thinking. And this one was like huge fail, Genie. You need to like go back, but it allows you to develop Genie to tailor your business needs, kind of thing. So just another cool thing that's coming out. Anyway, I spent I think 12 minutes or so. So um, but yeah. Any other questions? If not, I'll send this recording off. But
Very impressive. I think Genie's exceptionally capable.
yeah, it's gotten like kind of scary and how it's almost just fun to play with because it makes things so easy. Um, But yeah, if you guys want to get into that vector search, I think that was the most relevant potentially for you guys because you're trying to do, you're essentially creating a search engine almost on these EDI files. So thought that was pretty sweet. Cool. Well, if nothing else, I'll send this recording to you guys and let me know if you're running any more errors, Matt.
Sounds good. Appreciate everybody's time. Thanks
All right.
again.
Yeah, no problem.
Great. Thanks, guys.
See
Bye.
you.
Nicely done, Zach. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.